Welcome out, everybody, to the No Spake Zone. This is Angela. I hope you're all having a good Saturday. I want to continue our series of what we've been talking about, shadow work. Today's episode, we're going to deal with something called triggers. Instead of going straight for the root, I want to give you guys, the listeners out there, something that you can do to challenge yourself to change the situation when you've been triggered. So, again, our channel is aimed at laws of attraction and why we're not manifesting the body we desire, the love we desire, the career and money we desire. We're dealing with blocks that are directly related to childhood trauma or childhood programming that has stopped us from obtaining the life that we truly desire. But instead of working on the roots today, what I want to do is give you a concrete tool to put in your toolbox that can help you figure out something that you can do when you've been triggered. So in order to explain myself further, I want to go into a story of what happened to me just last week. I got triggered. And my programming dash my wounded child took over. And I will explain it quite quickly because I think this is something that all of you out there can relate to. We've all had issues with passwords. So I am 52. I'm not great with computers. I'm still learning. And as we all know out there in America today, and I suppose in every nation, it's password, 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 password. And anything and everything that you want to get to, it's user ID and password. And if you're anything like me, you can't remember what you ate for breakfast yesterday, let alone try to remember what a password you put in 6 months ago. I try to keep a memory of all of those things, but I, like most people, utterly fail. Well, this was a particular gruesome password. It was on my credit card that the month before I had fraud. And I'm trying to remember the password. I'm plugging it in and it's saying it's not accurate. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out what I'm doing. I can't think of another password I would have used. Very, very frustrated. And to make matters worse, I'm a horrible typist. And the more frustrated I get, the worse I type. And I think this is probably true for all of us. But the menu just put a black dot on what I'm typing, and I have no idea if what I'm putting in is actually what I'm putting in because there was no way to look at what I was typing. So I was excruciatingly frustrated. I know there's some of you out there that know how to type it in this menu and copy, paste, and bring it in, but that's too fancy-swancy for this girl. I'm continuing to plug away, and needless to say, after 17 times of trying to type in a password and a new password, I was beyond pissed, and my wounded child was driving the ship. And I think there's many of us that can relate to this situation. This is the first clue that a wound is driving you instead of your adult self. When it asked me to put in a new password, of course, I immediately went to dick face. Yes, a cuss word. Very childish, but that's what's happening to me. So I put dick face at 1, 2, 3, and I was denied because there was no capital letters. So I typed in dick face with a capital D, 1, 2, 3. I was denied because there was no exclamation point or something, right? So I put in that dick face, exclamation point, 1, 2, 3, then got denied again because I had sequential numbers. You name it, whatever I tried to do, it wouldn't accept it. And I was so livid, it was insane. I ended up having to call the support desk and asking them to mail that statement to me. It was extremely frustrating to me because I just couldn't beat the password. And what kills me about our society today is if you don't beat the password, you don't get access to your own data. I could not read my own credit card report before I paid it. I couldn't even look at it because I could not pass the password thing, and it just kills me. So they sent it to me in the mail, and I had to make a payment over the phone, And I hated it because I can't see what I'm paying for, don't know what's going on in my statement. And I think so many of us in our society today can really relate to that. But so what I'm going to share with you today is a technique that will help you when you're triggered. Now, I was able to talk myself down just enough to find a way around it by calling their help desk and just getting them to send me something in the mail. I just could not deal with a password that day. 17 times I was beyond. You can get up and walk away. But I had a limited amount of time to deal with these things like most of us do. We're very busy. And it's infuriating when you're hitting roadblock after roadblock. But getting up and leaving is a wonderful way. You got to change your environment to get yourself calmed down. But I have another tool that I would like you guys to consider, and it transmutes the energy. It changes it from anger, frustration, humiliation to something silly. My very best tool in my toolbox and how I deal with childhood trauma issues or triggers that get me is humor. I truly believe that every person out there in the world today needs to find their self a wonderful sense of humor, because in order to deal with the highs and lows and the trials and tribulations of life, humor is about the best tool I could ever offer anyone to help transmute that negative energy into something positive. That's why, to me, calling and airing out my life problems to my girlfriends is a wonderful thing to do, because before we're done with the phone call, 9 times out of 10 we're laughing. We've changed that energy from a bitch fest or a complaint fest to something silly and wonderful, and we've raised each other's vibrations, and it's totally possible to do that. So some people out there say you shouldn't share your negative stories with people, but I will fight you on that. First and foremost, what you'll always hear from me, do not suppress your anger. Do not suppress your anger. If you're going to do that, you just might as well say hello to cancer, hello to muscle pains, to arthritis, you name it. It creates a sickness in the body. All of that trapped anger that's not been expressed causes damage to ourselves, to our psyche. And I totally just will not tolerate what I'm hearing out there on the YouTube that you're not allowed to. Yes, you are. God gave you tears and God gave you laughter. That's part of what we're here to do. So my message always is express, even if it's negative, express that. Now, you might have to wait to express it later. Hold your breath a little, put a pin in it, you know. You don't want to be yelling at your boss when you really might want to yell at your boss. You know that yelling at them right then and there is going to cause you perhaps to get fired, and you've got a family to support, so you don't want to do that. You put a pin in it, but you wait till later on in that day where you have a moment of peace, of your solitude, and you express that anger and you transmute it. And I'm going to show you how I handled the password crisis, and I created a little skit to make it funny, and I hope you enjoy. Gosh dang it, I gotta remember my password. I don't remember my password. Ugh. Okay, that's it. I'm calling heaven. I'm gonna find out if they can help me remember what my dang credit card password is.
Hello, beautiful soul. We are happy that you called, but all of our angels are currently busy with other questions. Please hold and we will be right with you. Currently, your wait time is 1,762,491. If you are calling to request your password identification, please refer to Google Play. The correct password is already stored there. Remember, God loves you. We love you. Please be patient. We will reach you in this life or the next.
What the hell? I'm going to be on hold until I die 6 lifetimes. This is never going to happen. I guess I'm going to have to sell my soul to the devil. Maybe the devil will be interested in my soul, so I'll find out what my goddamn password is.
Hello, you've reached the office of hell and damnation. All our demons are currently busy feasting on sold souls. If you are calling to sell your soul for password identification, please note that hell has already reached maximum capacity. I repeat, hell has already reached maximum capacity. Satan is so pleased he has agreed to offer you this one-time chance to call this number 1-800-HACKERS-ARE-US to find your missing passwords. Tell them that Satan sent you. Take care. Bye-bye.
I can't believe it. Hell doesn't even want my soul? How am I ever going to find my password? Hello? Hello? Yes, my name's Angela. Yeah, you know who I am, and I want to know what my passwords are. And I guess I got your number from Devil, and they told me if I call you, you're going to be able to tell me what all my passwords are. I can never remember them. What information do you need from me? Do you want my mom's maiden name? What? You got it? Do you want my Social Security number? Of course you got that. Okay, well, here's the deal. I really need some help figuring out my password. What is it going to cost me? So you want 1/3 of my income. Well, there's a little problem with that because the IRS is already taking 1/3 of my income. I mean, I know I could probably write you off as a office expense, but in the end, if y'all take all my income, I got nothing to live with. So what can we do about that? You'll hack into the IRS? You'll lower my tax liability? Oh, that's all right. And in exchange for 1/3 of my income, you will leave my passwords alone and I can call you whenever I need help in finding my password? And you will keep everybody from changing my password? All right, you got yourself a deal.